What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to another episode of G.W.R. Gonzo's Wrestling Room. This will be our what? This will be our fourth episode, right?
Yep, fourth episode.
Joined by my dad, Tony Gonzalez, again. Got lot to talk about. Got some independent stuff. Got the weekly shows. Actually, finishing up watching NXT right now, and it's been a real good show.
It's real strong this week.
I really like the Dolph Ziggler segment with him and Breaker and
yeah, I did too.
What's that other guy's name?
Oh, Braun Breaker, and then you had Dolph Ziggler and
that Mexican dude.
Shit, I'm not gonna remember his name now. Legado Fantasma.
Okay, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
He's good. That NXT's doing pretty well. They got a lot of talent. I think could go the next level.
And then Ciampa came out there toward the end of the segment.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go with that.
You think are they building up a fatal 4-way match?
I'm not sure what they're doing. I don't know where they're going with it for sure. It's interesting, but I'm not sure what they're going to do. I know next week is that big Valentine special they have. It's going to be the Phantasm against Braun Breaker for the belt. Yeah.
Was it Vengeance Day or something like that?
Yeah, Vengeance Day. It's a real good card too. They got a cage, a loaded weapons cage match. Got a bunch of real good matches on it.
Yeah, that weapons cage match. I want to see that. I think that's going to be good.
Yeah, they got a real good show.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. The show they done Tuesday night was a good show.
Yeah, that's one of their better regular shows it might be the best, most complete regular show. There really wasn't anything on that show that was bad. I mean, I really didn't think so. I thought the show flowed real well. I thought the NXT show on Tuesday night was really good. That first tag team match, Creed Brothers against that Grizzled Young Veterans, that was one heck of a match. Yeah, I think them Creed Brothers could be big stars. I really do. And then the other match in the Dusty Rhodes Classic, MSK beat that Blade and Enoff. It was a pretty good match too. I think that's going to be a real interesting match next week for the Dusty Rhodes Cup between Creed Brothers and MSK.
Yeah,
I think that'll be a real good match. And the last match with Mandy Rose defeating Katie Lee Ray in that match, I thought it was real good.
Yeah, that's probably the match I'm watching right now, and it's been real good so far.
Yeah, it was good. And like you said, Dolph Ziggler showing up, and I think that's a good idea to bring people in and work with these guys. I mean, there's not too many people better than Ziggler in the ring. I mean, in all of wrestling. I know some people are going to not believe that, but it's true. I mean, he's really good in the ring. Been around for a long time. Better, knows how to do things the right way. Getting in the ring with Breaker would just make Breaker that much better. So,
and the fans loved it when Ziggler came out.
That's one thing I've noticed. Even though I loved the black and gold NXT, towards the end, the last few months, the crowd it seemed a little stale. It seemed like the crowd the last few weeks are really getting been a lot louder, more into the show. I kind of like the setup that they've got at that place. I like the way it's set up. I mean, there's some negative things with NXT 2.0, yeah, because they're putting some people out there that only been training for 3 or 4 months. Are there going to be some bad spots sometimes? Sure. But I think right now, I think the positives are outweighing the negatives. I feel.
And I like the way it's set up too, because it's almost like an overproduced independent show, because the fans are right there on it. It's in a smaller building.
Yeah, I like it. And what I like about it, it's different than any other show WWE does. It's not SmackDown. It's not Raw. It's different. So I mean, I think different's better. We need different shows. You don't want the same thing.
Have more options of things to watch.
Yeah,
and it's going to draw more people because there's things for everybody.
If you look at the way Raw's laid out, it's different than NXT. 2.0. The way SmackDown, it's different than the other two shows. It's all three are kind of different in different ways. And then you throw NXT UK, it's completely different than the other three shows. So they've got 4 shows that are different. Right now, I think SmackDown's a little stale. I think that they put too much talent on Raw, and it's hurt SmackDown a little bit. But I mean, I'm sure once they get through the WrestleMania, they'll probably move some people up or move some people around or something and try to fix that. But I think they also look at the ratings are pretty strong on Fox right now, and they've got Roman Reigns. They carry the load. Him and Paul Heyman and the Usos. So I think that they feel comfortable with that.
Okay. Well, what you want to do first? You want to get into your show rankings, or?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was going to go over the shows a little bit. I kind of already went over the NXT. I'll go back to Raw. Raw was real strong too. I mean, it was real strong. They had that the highlight for me was almost RK Bro taking on the Alpha Academy in a quiz bowl, where you had to answer so many questions, and if RK Bro won the quiz bowl, they get a championship match at a later date against them, and they end up winning it, and it was hilarious. Orton and Riddle are 2 of the best things going on TV right now, I think.
So
of all the shows.
So a quiz bowl was their counter to the scooter race.
Yeah, it was a quiz bowl, and it was kind of like Jeopardy in a way. They had topics and stuff like that. But yeah, it was pretty good. So they made it pretty good because they had the Alpha Academy at 4-2, and they blew it and got beat 5-4. So they blew it. So they made it pretty good, and it was real good. Another match on the show was AJ Styles against Damian Priest, and he beat Priest. So I don't know if he's going to do a lot of things and have different people wrestle different people on the show right now. I don't know where they're going. I don't know if AJ is going to win the U.S. title. I don't know where they're going for sure, but the match was outstanding. They had Becky Lynch continue her feud with Lita. Had a real good segment there. Both of them were strong on the mic. Lita ended up dropping Becky Lynch in the middle of the ring, so I thought that went well. They had a couple other lady matches that were both pretty decent. Had trying to get them ready for the Elimination Chamber. They had Bianca Belair against Nikki Ash, ASH, and Belair went over, what you would expect, and looked strong. They had Doudrop beat Liv Morgan. It was a good match and looked strong. So they're trying to build those people up for the chamber. So I thought that was good. Match of the night again. I thought it was last week too. They had Kevin Owens against Austin Theory. Kevin Owens beat him last week. Owens beat him this week, and it was an outstanding match. But it might have been the match of the night, but it was close. You also had Riddle against Seth Rollins in the main event. They went at it for a few minutes, and then they had a DQ because Kevin Owens came out. So they made it Seth and Owens against Orton and Riddle in a tag match, which Seth and Owens ended up winning. But it was a fantastic match. So Raw was real strong. I mean, it was really good. And what I like right now, they're building up some people. Riddle's doing great things. Theory's doing really good stuff. They're building up Gable and Otis both too. So they're starting to build up some other stars and trying to get the roster stronger. So I thought Raw was real strong.
Yeah, I haven't seen all of Raw yet, but I've watched some. I've seen some of it. What I saw of it was real good. I think that Austin Theory is underrated.
Oh yeah,
I do. He can go.
A lot of people compare him to Cena, and I see that comparison a little bit. Except he's probably better in the ring than more athletic than even Cena. But I think a lot of see that kind of build on him, and he's only 24 years old. So yeah, I mean, he's got a bright.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's talented.
Yeah, he's really good. He's been good with segments with Vince. I think big things for him. And when we get to my ratings, I want to ask you a question on NXT and Raw. See which one you like better. I mean, what you've seen of it. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna go ahead and we'll go to AEW Dynamite. they cut some real good promos this week. MJF did a real great promo to start the show.
Yeah, I saw that. That was real good.
Keith Lee came out, showed up as a surprise, defeated Isaiah Cassidy. I thought Lee looked good considering the fact that he'd been off 5 months. Also had COVID. He put on some weight. Still moved good, but he looked a lot better in NXT. So you got to give him a little bit of time. I would have preferred them give him a couple months to get in better shape personally. But I mean, I love Keith. Keith Lee was probably my favorite. In NXT. He was probably my favorite wrestler. So I want Keith Lee to be the biggest star in all of wrestling. So I'm definitely behind him. But I thought Isaiah Cassidy did a real good job of help putting Lee over and doing things to make him look really good. So I think he could be a big star.
If they do it right, he could be a real big star.
I worry because they haven't done very good with big wrestlers. They ain't really pushed any big wrestlers. They're big wrestlers. They have them lose all the time. So the big guys. So I don't know. We'll see. I hope that Tony Khan sees something in Keith Lee, like some other people do, and really push him. But, another interesting match on the show was CM Punk and Moxley against FTR. It was good, strong, had some pretty good psychology. Also had some spots in it though that had me scratching my head. They did it last week with Punk and MJF went in the crowd and spent 5, 6, 7 minutes. They did it again this week, and it just kills it for me. I mean, it just hurts it. It was a good match, but I think it for me. And some people are going to say
minutes is too long to be in the crowd. If you're going to do something like that, a minute or two.
Well, just make it a no disqualification match. You make the referee look like an idiot when you do that, and then just it hurts it for me. But it was still a good match. I think it could have been a great match. It was a little sloppy at times, but they were really going at it. So I kind of overlooked the sloppiness, because Moxley's not a finesse wrestler anyway.
No,
so
he's a brawler.
He's a brawler. So I didn't mind that. I thought it was a real good match. The Hangman Page match against Lance Archer was a real strong match. Had a lot of spots, a lot of blood. If you like that, I seen a thing where Booker T said, and I kind of agree with him a little bit. He reviewed the match today. He said he's wondering if they're doing too much blood on TV. If you do it on the pay-per-views, in big matches, death matches like that, it may make it a little bit more special. If you do it too much,
it don't make it special.
Yeah, I kind of agree with him in a way, but it was a good match. It was a good win for Page. But again, here's a monster like Lance Archer, who's been in 2 or 3 big matches. All the other matches, he's been either squash matches or on Dark or Elevation on their YouTube shows. Any big match he has, he gets beat, and the dude's a 7-foot monster. I don't.
No, you're killing him.
Yeah, I don't understand that part of it. We'll see. I mean, hopefully they'll get to book him. Well, the one thing that was bad about that, their very first match they ever had against each other, Page and Lance Archer, was a Texas Death Match. How's that your first match?
Yeah,
you're supposed to build up to a grudge like that, not.
Yeah,
you
started off with that because then
that should be your third match.
Yeah, you started off with that. What are you going to do down the road to top that to have your grudge?
Yeah, and the other thing with Dynamite too is the lack of no selling. The referees don't, the refs being bad, and the wrestlers don't sell. They don't. I mean, they get hit with all kinds of moves, and they're up in 2 seconds. So I'd like to see more selling. But it was still a good show. But for me, it really, with the people they had booked on the show and everything, it should have been the show of the week. And for some people, it may be. And I'm not putting anybody down. If they like that, that's great. It kept it from being a great show. It kept a good show from being a great show. But for me, personally, if other people love it and think it was killed all the other shows, there's nothing wrong with that. But just for me, but it was a good show. I
haven't watched all of it, but what I've seen, it was better than last week's from what I've seen.
Oh yeah, Dynamite was a lot better this week. A lot better for me, definitely.
From what I've seen, I thought it was a lot better as well.
I just got done watching Impact here a few minutes ago. Still, that Josh Alexander, you got to check him out. He's really good. He did a segment on the mic. That's the best I've seen him on the mic. They kind of hurt him in booking because he won the championship and then had him lose it kind of too quick, in my opinion. But it looked like they're heading them back that way towards the belt. I hope so. I think he's really, really good in the ring. Idolizes, people like Bret Hart and stuff. Kind of tries to wrestle that style, kind of old school style. But he's really good, so you need to check him out. But he was a bright spot for me. They had two real good women's matches on there. Had the she's not the Impact champion, but she's got the Ring of Honor championship and the Mexican AAA championship. That Deonna Purrazzo, she used to be the Impact champion. She was with WWE and NXT, and they never went anywhere. I don't know if she was a problem because she didn't buy into what they were trying to do or whatever. It just never worked out. But she's really good in the ring. She's one of the best female wrestlers going. I mean, she really is. I mean, probably top 5, maybe, in the world. She's good. Then they had she was against Santana Garrett, another lady that was in NXT. She's really good. The NXT never used her. I don't know why. I thought she had a good look. She got bright red hair, nice looking lady. Thought she was. I think she's a second generation wrestler. I don't think her father was big time, but he would come from the business. It was a good match. It was solid, and she won with an armbar. Purrazzo did. Then they had Chelsea Green. She was also in the WWE. Looked like she was doing pretty well there for a while and started to get a push, and then all of a sudden they let her go against Mickie James, and that was more of a storyline match. 4 or 5 minutes and some interference and trying to build up some things, but it was pretty solid. Then they had they had a tag match, Taven and Bennett from Ring of Honor. They've got that kind of Ring of Honor TNA story going on, and it was a solid match against Rhino and Rich Swann. But right there, Rich Swann's a perfect example. He was the Impact Championship champion. They had him wrestle Kenny Omega, gets beat, and then he goes to the bottom of the card. They took all this time that he got injured. They brought him back. He fought, come back from injury, put him in a big storyline, got the belt, and then they just killed him, just destroyed him. So I didn't understand that. Then the last match was a Falls Count Anywhere match with Brian Myers and W. Morrissey. Morrissey's used to be the big guy that wrestled with Enzo in the WWE.
Yep.
And I just think his past demons kind of hold him down a little bit. I wish the WWE would give him another chance because I think he's got a lot of ability. But it was a pretty solid match. Impact was good this week. It wasn't as good as last week. Of course, we're taping this on Friday, so SmackDown's tonight, so I'm not getting to review it or Rampage. I'm not getting to review those two.
Yeah. I got on Friday this week because we're going to be broadcasting live on Saturday.
Yeah. So for me this week, it was a tough decision because all 3 shows. The Impact was the least of the 4, but it was still a solid show. There was nothing wrong with it at all. I mean, it was a good show, and I recommend everybody watching it. I thought it was a good show, but it wasn't on the level of the other 3. It's a tough pick for me. But me personally, I'm gonna go with Raw as number 1. And I've been going back and forth on NXT and Dynamite. Like I said, the refereeing and the no-sell hurt a little bit, but it was still a really, really good show. And I really enjoyed NXT. Me personally, I kind of like NXT a little better. So I'm going to go 2 NXT, 3 Dynamite, and 4 Impact. And I was going to ask you, you've seen NXT and you've seen some of Raw. What did you think?
I'd probably put NXT as the number 1 this week.
And that's not a bad pick. Yeah.
And then from what I've seen of Raw and what I've seen of Dynamite, I have them 2 about even. It could go either way with them 2 at second or third.
Really, them 3 shows this week.
They're all real good.
Yeah, I don't think you could really bitch about any of them being 1 or, I mean, they were that close. I mean, you could all 3 say it was a 3-way tie almost. It was
that was one of the better Dynamite shows I've watched.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. And like I said, I haven't seen all of it. I've seen quite a bit of it, but I thought it was way better than last week's.
Even though that I had some problems with Dynamite, but then again, I'm not their target audience. I'm 58 years old. They're targeting the 18 to 39 or 40, 49, whatever. And And so they're trying to hit their demos, and it did well this week in the ratings and stuff. So I can't put them down. I mean, but again, I think they're going to have struggles getting over that. They did 1,100,000 this week, just a little touch over. I think they're going to have problem getting to that 1.4, 1.5 million because of that. We'll see how it goes. But 4 real good shows this week. Impact was good too. Just wasn't quite on the level.
What do you think the main reason that AEW is not gaining more people?
They're not getting the casual fans. They're not getting the casual fans. People, because the reason I say that is because their highest show they ever did was 1.4. And they lost it and went down to what they were doing when they first started. Of course, everybody was going to watch it that first week. And then it slowly went down to 1,900,000, 700,000. It was doing so. Of course, it was going against NXT too at that time.
Yeah.
NXT went away.
They didn't really gain that much.
They're usually between 900,000 and just a touch over 1 million.
So they gained a couple 100,000 by NXT.
Couple hundred. And then when they really hyped this show this week, we're gonna have a big surprise. We're gonna have a big surprise. And we'll see what the rating is next week without the big surprise. So I don't know. I just don't think they're catching the casual fan. And people put down Raw and put down WWE, but it's got to be a proven fact that people want entertainment too. They just don't want match. They want to be entertained also. And people can put down Raw. I think in the last couple months, especially since the draft, Raw's got a lot better. Some people are never going to say Raw's any better. Everybody's going to say Raw's trash because they want to live 1997, 98, 99, 2000. I mean, you can go back and watch some of the 2004, 2005, 2006 shows. There were some good shows. There were some good pay-per-views. But some people they're going to hate on them, so that's just what it's going to be. I still say I know the numbers on TV. Of course, everything's different now. We're going to say, well, they did 7 million in 90 or 2000. They was doing 7 million. Now they only do 2 million. Well, that's true, but everybody watches TV different. And now there wasn't no, they've got 73 million on YouTube channel, and they've got all this other stuff. So they're probably really bigger now than they were in 2000. If you look at everything, the way people, because everybody's looking at things different. Just like that Dynamite rating is really probably more because there's people watching it on different YouTube and watching it different.
And
NXT. People can watch NXT. You can watch Monday Night Raw, Impact, and NXT on Hulu, at a later date, next day or the day after. You can watch NXT the next day after,
And it don't have as many commercials and shit.
You can watch it. You can watch it on the network. So I mean, all those views are not into the thing. Yeah. And I think Dynamite, if you have TNT, a certain package with TNT, you can watch it on demand anytime you want. So I mean, that is different too. So
yeah, content's consumed a whole lot different now than it was back in the 90s and even early 2000s. I mean,
yeah, completely different.
I mean, just like this, with a click of a button, me and you can have. I mean, one click of a button, we can have a video conversation. It's just, it's crazy how far we've gone.
Yeah, definitely. But that was the 4 shows this week, and I thought there was a real good week of wrestling. Now again, I seen what lineup for SmackDown. I seen the lineup for the cards for what they've released for SmackDown tonight. It's all going to be towards build for next Saturday. That's what they're building for. Because they got that big pay-per-view over in Saudi Arabia. The Elimination Chamber. That's what the all build's going to be. I think Lesnar's going to be on the show tonight. I think Ronda Rousey might be on the show too. So
that's what Saturday the 19th, isn't it?
Yep, it comes on at noon, the 19th.
Why couldn't it have been on the 26th?
But it's going to be on at noon on Saturday. We'll be
meeting the Rock and Roll Express at that time.
Yeah. So, but I think it's going to be a real good show, and but that's what SmackDown. It's going to be more of a build up and stuff. I don't see any way that it's going to be able to beat Raw this week. And I looked at the lineup even though I thought last week Rampage was the best Rampage they did. I I looked at the lineup for this week, and it just really didn't. And it may still be a real good show, but the lineup just didn't, pop out at me. So we'll see. I'll watch it tonight. I'll watch both of them tonight, and we'll see how they are.
What time does Rampage come on? Is it come on like at 10?
Comes on 10. SmackDown's on from 8 to 10. Yep.
Thought it came on right after SmackDown.
Yep. On TNT.
I'll probably watch some of it tonight while I'm tearing down this equipment.
Yep.
Get ready for tomorrow.
Yeah. I got a big show tomorrow at Thunder and Blunder.
Yeah, big. I made a post earlier and I said on there that this had the potential to be one of the best shows of the year. But I'm not. I mean, when I say that, I mean that with all the talent that's on there. This should be a great card.
Should be a real great show. We'll see. I mean, I know he's putting a lot into it, and he's booking it, and he's getting all the talent and putting everything together, producing it. So
he's been promoting the hell out of it.
Yeah, I know Walter's trying real hard, and I expect it to be a real good show. It's only the second show, but I seen some of the people was on the first show, and it looked like it was, we wasn't there, and I haven't seen it, but it sounded like it was a pretty good show. But I think this one, talent-wise, blows that one away. So I think it's going to be a really good show.
Yeah, I mean, out of the 14,
expecting big things.
Out of the 14 or 15 matches on the card, almost all of them could be a main event on a regular show.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I mean, anybody, I hope it has a big crowd. I hope it has a packed house and does real well, because I think it's going to be a show that definitely deserves
it. This will come out after that's over, but we'll do a recap of it of next Thunder week, Blunder 2 next weekend.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a great show. What match are you looking forward to the most on that card?
Oh, I don't know. Well, of course, I want to see the owner versus owner match. Buck Sexton, the owner of what's it called, World Pro Wrestling, against DCCW owner and wrestler, ladies man Mike King. That definitely got some interest for me. So I want to see it. And both of them guys are good guys. You got to give them a shout out. But I don't know, man. All the 4 tournament matches, the first round matches, all have interest. I'm excited to see. Chris, help me, because we've talked about it. We haven't seen him live yet.
Mercer.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see it. I think Shane Mercer was his name. Yeah. I'm really excited. I've seen him on tape.
And I think he's going against Del Patrick's in the first round,
isn't it? And not only that, I think the Falls Count Anywhere. I don't think it's a normal match.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So that and Del Patrick's, one of the better guys in Indiana too. So I mean, it's going to be really good. Let's go ahead and throw it out if you want to. Who do you think is going to win this tournament?
Man, problem is the two guys that I think that come right to my head wrestle each other the first round, and that's Bret Havoc and Big Whiskey Jared Kripke.
Yeah,
because I love watching both them wrestle. I don't know who's going to win that match. That's going to be a crazy first round match.
I'm gonna go my first choice. We'll see, but I'm gonna go Bret Havoc as my first choice, and then I'm gonna go my second choice is Mercer.
So you think it's gonna be Havoc and Mercer in the final match? I can see
that. But I think one of them will be champion. And that's not taking anybody away. All 8 guys in that tournament could be champion.
Oh yeah,
or deserving champions. So I'm not.
I think Aaron Atlas and Dalton Love right around here in Muncie. I think that's going to be a heck of a match in the first round as well.
Yeah, Mercer was just on Game Changer Wrestling, and I think he's been on OVW maybe also. Kripke's been on OVW, doing some good things, and just a lot of really good talent in that. Dalton Love is getting better all the time.
I would like to see Love win that first match, and I'd like to see him against either Kripke or Havoc in that semifinals. I think that'd be good.
Yeah, I'm not putting down Dalton at all, but he's only been wrestling for a year or a little over a year, and he's definitely stepping up to the next level talent now, starting to. I feel, just my opinion. And I've already seen some of his shows. Seen him against the highlight reel here a couple weeks ago. Looked great. Seen him in the 8-man match with over there in WCWO, where it was I think it was Blake Money Wright's team against JKO's team. I thought he held his own, looked fantastic in that match. So he's definitely getting better. He's getting the training and he's getting better. So yeah, I could see him winning the tournament. I mean, he's definitely stepping up. So it should be really good. I'm really excited for it.
Then you got some non-tournament matches. One I'm really looking forward to is Jake Owen against Blake Money. Right. I think Blake is one of the better guys in Indiana right now as well. And then Jake
Yeah.
Owen's he's on his own level.
He's next level. I mean,
how he don't have a contract somewhere still blows my mind.
I don't understand it. Don't make any sense to me. But what do we know?
If I had because if I was like NXT or somebody like that, I'd bring the dude in, if not to wrestle, as a trainer.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
I mean, we got to watch just for a little bit of their training one day, and it blew my mind. I was impressed.
2 or 3 women's matches.
I think just 2. I think it was supposed to be 3, but I think it's just 2. I think I saw a post today.
Yeah, I think the 2 ladies matches are going to be real nice. One of them, the Charlie Cruel match, I think is a false count anywhere match or type match, anything goes match. So I expect there's not a bad match on the card, Chris. There's not.
No.
I mean, any show would love to have one of those matches on their show. So I expect it to be a really, really good show.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. I'm pretty sure it was 2 women's matches now. He made a post a little bit ago about it.
I know Logan Vitar was supposed to wrestle somebody, and as far as I know, she still is. And then Charlie Cruel was against somebody. I don't have it in front of me. You can get that in front of you.
Okay, right here we got. It says 24 hours away from the return of Thunder Blender Wrestling. Over 4 hours of action. It says 2 musical acts, 2 championship matches, 2 women's matches, 2 weapons matches, and the 8-man one-night tournament to crown the first Thunder Blender champion. Starts at 6 p.m. tomorrow, live in Indianapolis, Indiana at 1151 Kentucky Avenue. Tickets are only $15. $15 ticket for this show is crazy.
Crazy.
I mean, you could charge more. He could charge more than that if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
It says an event over 6 months in the making. And of course, it was booked and produced by Walter Buckley.
Well, what about that first match, Chris? Unless they've changed it, you're going to have the Outlaw champion of WCWO, Naptown Nightmare, against Logan Myers, and I have trouble with his name, Chris.
Dutch Boy Platinum.
Dutch Boy Platinum. Them 3 in a 3-way match for the Outlaw Championship.
Yeah,
I mean that's going to start the show. That could have ended the show. I mean that's he's going to start off with a bang, definitely, because we know all 3 of those guys can go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think I'm expecting. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow night. I'm expecting a great show with because I mean we've seen there's a couple on here we haven't seen, but we've seen most of them in action before, and they all can hold their own.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Logan Couture again because I really liked her the last time she wrestled Del Patrick. So this time we'll see her. I haven't seen her wrestle a woman, so I'm really excited to see that because I really enjoyed her match against Patrick. So I'm excited to see that. And, well, like I said, everybody we've seen on there, we've seen Aaron Atlas, BMFX a few months ago. He was really good. I mean, it's going to be a dynamite show. I mean, people are crazy if they don't go. If you ain't got nothing, if people don't have nothing to do tomorrow, they should be there. So.
Oh yeah. Yep, we'll be there, you guys. But this will be aired afterwards. But hey, if you didn't watch Thunder Blender 2 live, it'll be on our YouTube and Twitch channels. Go check it out.
Yep. Talk about what we got coming up next week. What's going on next Saturday? Couple shows actually in Muncie. I'll go ahead and do the first one first. First one, IPW's got a show here in Muncie. It's going to be at the Delaware County Fairgrounds. I think people, hey, it should be a good show. Definitely go out there and support Luke Savage and Dalton Love, 2 young wrestlers, been in the business a year, maybe a little over a year, that doing really big things, getting better all the time. I know they're training some down at WCWO. They're wrestling WCWO also. They've been traveling around. I know Dalton for sure has been going over to Ohio and wrestling some. like I said, both of them are getting better. So that's a show coming up this Saturday. And if I remember right, the show starts at 7 and doors doors open at 6.
Yeah, Saturday, February 19th. Doors open at 6 and bell times at 7 for that one.
Yeah, and then the big show here in town Saturday. Also, I believe doors open at 6 and wrestling starts at 7. And that's going to be DCCW. Rock and Roll Never Dies. There we go. Got the poster up there with the Rock and Roll Express going to be there. Only $15 front row, but the front row is sold out. But $10 general admission, $10 to see the Rock and Roll Express. You're going to see them go against voted Indiana's best tag team, the Highlight Reel, who holds more than one title in Indiana. They hold 2, 3, 4 championships here in Indiana. So they definitely, in my opinion, are the best tag team in Indiana, going against the Rock and Roll Express. The other match we do know about is going to be JKO against Ladies Man Mike King. I think the match is going to have some type of stipulation to it that hasn't been given out yet, but I guarantee it, stipulation or no stipulation, them two can both go. It's going to be an exciting match.
We might get the stipulation on Monday evening at 7 for the Coon Dogs Corner. That's going to be live here in the GSR studio.
Yep, 7 o'clock, and maybe we'll get a couple matches or a couple, something. We'll find out something. They're saying there's going to be some new talent coming in, some old talent, because it's their 4th anniversary show.
Yeah,
DCCW's 4th anniversary show, so they're going to bring in some old talent also. We know about the young talent they have, the Rachel Armstrongs and Dutch-Board Platinums and Logan Myers, and so it's going to be a great show. And for the money, you can't beat it. Again, doors open at 6 and the wrestling starts at 7. It's going to be a fantastic show. So I hope people go out and support independent wrestling here in Muncie, and support wrestling in Indiana, period. So I hope people go out and watch the shows.
Another thing about that, 2 things actually. One, we're a ticket outlet, so if you need tickets for it, I have general admission tickets
for DCCW.
Yeah, for DCCW. So if you want tickets for that show, get a hold of me and we'll get them to you. But another thing at that show, especially if any wrestlers or ring announcers or anything, people are listening like that, they're going to be doing a seminar. The Rock and Roll Express are at next Saturday, February 19th, from 1 to 3. They're at the National Guard Armory.
From 1 to 3, $40. I know a wrestler that went to one of these what they call seminars of the Rock and Roll Express in the past. Jared Kripke, who's a fantastic wrestler here in Indiana, wrestles all over the place, and Tennessee and Kentucky and OVW. He's wrestled a lot. Really good wrestler, Jared is. Give him a shout out. But he went to one of those seminars, Rock and Roll Express, said it was worth every dime, every dollar you pay for it. Said that would recommend any wrestler or anybody in part of the wrestling business to go check that out because it was definitely worth it. So that's big praise. So
if you're interested in doing that, contact Ladies Man Mike King. He'll get with you about the information on payment and all that stuff. But if you're interested, make sure you get a hold of him because there is limited spots available. So you want to get in there before he fills up.
Yep, definitely. If you're interested, if you're an announcer, if you're interested in the wrestling business, give Mike a call and he'll fix you up. I think it's going to be well worth it. I know we're going, so I think it's going to be a great day. Seeing the Rock and Roll Express. This is their farewell tour, so people need to go check them out. And like I said, it's going to be they can still go. I know people are going to say, man, they're in their 60s. I'm telling you, I've seen matches here recently.
I'm gonna say get on YouTube and look up the Rock and Roll Express and look at some of the matches they've had in the last month.
Yeah, against FTR, one of the best tag teams in the world, FTR from AEW. Used to be also with WWE and NXT and stuff. Wrestled all over the world. Just match about a month ago. It was fantastic. So
I'm excited.
It'll be a big show.
I've been a Rock and Roll Express fan for a long time, so I'm excited. Going to get to meet them and all that stuff. Should be a fun day next Saturday. Yeah, and for $10, because I know all the front row are sold out, but for $10 you can't beat it. And Rock and Roll Express will be set up doing autographs and stuff. I'd say probably during intermission and probably a little bit after the show. I would assume usually they do.
Definitely during intermission. I don't know how the match card's going to be set up. If they'll still be around at the end of the show or if their last match or I don't know, but definitely during intermission, Mike said they were going to be there and then get some stuff signed and stuff. So it's going to be a great night of wrestling, and I hope people go out and support all the wrestling.
There's a lot of
Period.
shows on the 19th too. If
Oh,
you're in the Shelbyville area, go check
yep.
out New Era Wrestling. They have an awesome main event with Sean Kemp against Eric Dillinger.
Oh,
That match there that could be up for match of the year. That's the kind of talent them two guys have.
definitely. Hey, good.
And New Era puts out a good product. We've been there
Real
once
good
live stream. The only reason we're not going to be there this time is because it's the same day as DCCW.
Yeah, great show. If you're in that area, you can't beat the talent there. I mean, it's really good. Definitely go out and support New Era Wrestling. Also,
Funkified. Did they have one that? No, that is it the 19th or the 12th?
I'm pretty sure it's 19th.
Okay.
They got a show. They got a show this the 19th too. Funkified does, and from all that I hear, which we know Conga Kong, he's fantastic, and he's going to be on the show, and I think he's one of the promoters of the show. Helps out definitely. From all things I hear, they have real good crowds and a real good show. So definitely, if you're up around Warsaw, I know they do shows in Columbia City also, but this night it's Warsaw, and they also do. I think they're going to got a new market they're going to do in North Manchester coming up here before too long. They're doing like 36, 34, 35, 40 shows a year. So they're really out there, going at it. So yeah, Funkified Wrestling definitely one I think you should try, check out.
So that's four different shows right there on the 19th. Just that for wrestling fans, that's 4 opportunities to go watch some good wrestling.
I was going to plug a show tonight, but there's no point in it because it's not going to air. But I will plug. I do know that WCWO, of course, their end of the month show. That'll be Friday, the 25th. Okay, it's 26th.
25th. You're right. I was looking at
Friday.
25th.
Yeah, Friday the 25th. That's their end of the month show, and from all indication, it's going to be another fantastic show. I don't know all the matches that's going to be on it yet. I think they'll announce that probably next week, but it's going to be really not next week, probably the week after that. They might start announcing a few.
If you're a fan of wrestling and you haven't seen this WCWO event, you're missing out. They have shows every Friday night, every week, and man, they keep good storylines going. Yeah, I give them all the credit in the world because what they do and be able to do it at the level that they're doing it at and creating stories every week and every month. It's just, I think it's awesome. I enjoy watching it. We don't get to go to Indy as much as we want to, but when we're not in Indy, we usually we watch their live feeds.
They can watch the live feeds on on Facebook, and like I say, they do a show every Friday night, and like I said, they got good storylines. It's almost like you go 3 weeks, and then that fourth one's almost like their pay-per-view, kind of type deal. Their big blow-off show, or so they do a great job, and it's going to be. I know last Friday's show I watched. I didn't get to go live, but I got to watch it, and it was fantastic. And I expect no different this time coming in.
And if you're a young wrestler or person looking to get into the wrestling business, they're accepting new trainees. I think it was 10 spots available.
10 spots, and when are they starting? February 20th?
I think so. You can find out more information on it at the WCWO Facebook page. They have, or if you get on our Facebook page, I shared it, so the graphics on there, it tells you the date it starts and stuff. And we contact Joey Owens.
Also, speaking of that,
if you're wanting to be a wrestler, I highly recommend going to their training school.
Oh, definitely. I agree. And then speaking of that, I just seen something today. World Pro Wrestling is now taking spots. They're going to start a school up. So World Pro's in Danville, so it's a little more, a little bit further from Indy. But I'm sure Buck Sexton and the guys they're going to get some good trainers, and they'll start a real good school. There's no doubt in my mind. And speaking of that, that's a place we're going to be on Sunday the
27th.
27th. I think it's their 6th show.
Yes, I think it's GW6. I think
it was supposed to be at 5, and I think it was supposed to be at 5, and we couldn't make it because he was ill. We couldn't make it, but we're going to be there the 27th, and I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic show, no doubt about it.
I'm looking forward to that because that main event is already set. Cole Radrick and somebody, isn't it?
I think so. I think you're right.
or is that?
But I don't remember.
Or am I? I hope I ain't looking ahead to the next month.
Yeah, you may be. So I'm not sure. So we'll have to check that out. But
yeah, I'm
yeah,
looking forward to going because that last card they had where I was sick and we couldn't go.
Yep.
They had an amazing card, and I've watched some of the matches online. It was
Yep.
a really good show. So I'm looking
Yep.
forward to finally getting to go to Warrior Pro Wrestling and checking it out.
Yeah, February is turning out to going to be a big month. I mean, unfortunately, last weekend, the 5th and 6th, shows got canceled because of the weather, and there were going to be some dynamite shows, I'm sure. And we're going to get to see a lot of talent we haven't seen, so that was sad. But I mean, we got a big show coming up this Saturday, and then the 19th and the 27th. Yeah,
and then like March 5th, I think it is 5th or 6th, something like that.
Yep, I think it's 6th. That's we'll be at
Summit Pro
in Shelbyville. So yeah, it's
and that's another good promotion you want to go check out. The Kemp.
That's Greenfield, right? Greenfield. I said Shelbyville. Greenfield.
Yeah, that's another. You want to check them out. The Kemps are doing a great job getting that promotion.
Yeah, last month was supposed to be the 3rd show, so this will be the 3rd show, and they're doing a fantastic job. I went to the 2nd show. We was there, and it's one of the better shows I've ever seen. Independent wrestling. It was one of the better shows I've ever seen. Period. I mean, it was really top notch. I mean, won a bad match on the card, and definitely there's 2 matches on there. When we go back and look at the year, they're going to be up for match of the year candidates. No doubt in my mind. They were really good. So you can't beat going there. I think tickets were $10. A lot of good wrestling out there. A lot of good entertainment. I wish more people would go and support these guys, support these wrestlers, and support these promoters. They deserve it.
I think if people would just go one time and give it a chance, then they would come. Most of them would come back. Because I don't think independent wrestling isn't what people have in their head that it is.
It's not. It's not. And I'm not putting this down, Chris. I grew up. I'm 50. I've been going since I was 6, 7 years old. I'm 58 years old. I grew up around the Bruiser and the Crusher and Wilbur Snyder and Pepper Gomez and Cowboy Bob Ellis, Baron Von Raschke, Bobby Heenan. I got to see Bobby Heenan wrestle in a chain match against a wrestler called Billy Red Cloud in Newcastle. Got to see Blackjack Mulligan and Blackjack Lanza, names you probably don't know. Barry Windham's dad, Blackjack Mulligan.
I've heard of him before.
And he was a guy back in the 70s who was 6'10", 6'11", big dude, Blackjack Mulligan was. One of the greatest tag teams of all time, Mulligan and Lanza was. They really were. But yeah, it's different. I mean, if you watch AEW, you're going to see wrestlers, a lot of independent shows that can do that style of wrestling. Some of them probably better than it's on AEW. That's my opinion. I'm not putting down anybody, but there's a lot of talented wrestlers that aren't making it. That probably deserve to. But there's only so many spots out there. And it's whether can I afford to go wrestling.
What you just said right there is only so many spots out there. That's why if you're a fan of wrestling, if you like AEW better than you do WWE, cool. That's your opinion. But you shouldn't bury no other promotion, because the more promotions there are at that level of WWE and AEW, what's that mean? More spots for these guys that deserve to be at that level to get up to that level.
For example, I think
the more competition you have, the better the product's going to be.
I think MLW was a smaller promotion, was coming along real well, and then the pandemic hit, and it hurt. Pandemic really hurt MLW, really hurt NWA, and really hurt Ring of Honor. It really hurt those 3 promotions. It didn't hurt WWE near as bad, or AEW, but it hurt Impact. It hurt some, but not as bad as those other 3 promotions. MLW, I think, just signed Killer Cross or Karrion Kross, or he was called Killer Cross before that. So I think he's going by Killer Cross. They just signed him, I believe. They got Jacob Fatu. That they've got people. So I mean, of course, Keith Lee just went with AEW. So I mean, there's a lot of good wrestlers out there, and but what I'm saying, look at it this way. Most shows are 10, 12, $15. Okay. Most general admission are 10 by any show you go to. Of course, at WCW, it's $12 for all tickets because it's not a real big place and not a bad seat in the house. But you could go to 6 or 7 shows, independent wrestling, close within probably a 40, 50 mile radius of.
Yep.
I mean, if you go see AEW, you're going to have to drive an hour to go see them. Indianapolis is going to be the closest place you're going to see AEW or WWE. So but you could go to here in Muncie. We got 2 promotions. You could go to Shelbyville, who's closer. You could go to Greenfield. You can go all kinds of places. Danville, who might just be a little bit further than Indy.
Fortville.
Fortville, who put on a fantastic show. Got all these promotions. You could go there and pay 10, 12, 15 bucks. WCWO and Indy. You go pay this money and you can go see 6, 7, 8 shows for the price you're paying for one ticket. And some of them tickets you're still going to be sitting a mile away.
And not even including that, concessions are a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean,
they can meet the wrestlers. They could talk to the wrestlers. Some of them bring in,
and a lot of the wrestlers have merch that they.
Some people bring in. You know, we got to see Ace Austin at over Impact Star over at
WTF.
At WTF in Fortville. We've seen the Boogeyman here in Muncie. You know, we're getting ready to see the Rock and Roll Express. $15 to see the Rock and Roll Express. WWE Hall of Fame. Rikishi, Samu, who just signed a Legends contract with WWE. Boogeyman just re-signed with WWE Legends contract. We've seen Myron Reed, who's an MLW star, also been on Game Changer Wrestling. We've seen him.
James Storm.
James Storm, Chase Matthews. We've seen. Yeah, Chase. I said Matthews. Yeah, Chase. This is Chase Matthews, but Chase Stevens. We've seen a bunch of talent and bunch of. Not only that though, just the young talent. You know, the guys like the Highlight Reel and the Dex Royals and Jared Kripke. I could name 30 names, Chris, because we've seen all the shows, and I don't want to leave nobody out. But a bunch of great talent. You know, and I'm telling you, put on a fantastic show. I'm telling you, anybody that's got kids, I recommend take the kids and they'll love it. I'm telling you. If they don't, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked.
Indiana has a lot of talented guys right now, and we haven't even. And there's promotions we haven't even been to in Indiana yet.
Yeah,
so, we haven't even seen all the talent that's in Indiana, and just from what we've seen, Indiana's pretty loaded with some talent.
DCCW, great promotion. Great. We've been to several shows of theirs. Great promotion. Okay, let's go to WTF, Fortville. What? 45 minutes away. Yeah. Outstanding show. Actually, with the building and their production, top notch. I mean, really top notch. And the people he's bringing in are top notch talent. Great show for 10, 15, whatever, it is, but not very much. And then let's go to Shelbyville. Great promotion, with New Era. That's New Era, right? Shelbyville.
Yep.
New Era, Shelbyville. Of course, Summit Pro in Greenfield, Word Pro in Danville, and I'm gonna leave out some promotions. I know I am, because there's people don't realize there's probably at least 20 great promotions here in Indiana. So I mean, just you can go see great Lafayette, Kokomo.
Yep, BMFX and Lafayette.
Especially if you like old school, more the old school type wrestling, Kokomo, man.
AACW.
And I mean, I know they haven't had a show yet this year, but hopefully it's coming soon. Oh, if you like old school wrestling, that'd be definitely a place to go, because it's old school and the crowd's crazy and it is fun. The atmosphere is fantastic.
In your Lafayette area, BMFX, they put on and not only they put on a heck of a show, every show they do is for charity.
Yeah, they do. They get up and they hook up with charities each show, and just fantastic talent. I mean, I'm telling you, I can't put over independent wrestling enough, and I'm hoping some people see this, and people, if you are a fan and watch this show, share it and get it out to more people. Share this so people can hear about this and try to go check out a show, because I'm telling you, people here in town, I know AEW fans or WWE fans, and they think, oh, I don't want to go see DCCW. It's a little promotion. Go check out the Rock and Roll Express. Have that experience of seeing WWE Hall of Famers and all the great young talent. I'm telling you, you'll get hooked. Same way with all these other shows.
I think if the fans have to have a little more respect for the business and go watch the independent show, because they just assume, oh, these guys. Well, probably 80 to 90% of the guys you watch in AEW or WWE started out on an independent scene.
Yep.
So I mean, your favorite guy on WWE probably wrestled in the same places these guys are wrestling.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
I mean, if you want to keep seeing these stars get built, you got to support these younger guys so they can get up to being a star.
He's got a lot of these guys are busting their hump. I mean, trying to get seen and trying to get better and trying to make it. You know, I mean, a lot of them have a dream. You know, they want to be in AEW or WWE or Impact or want to do as far as they can go. And more fans that go, better chance they got. You know, so uh, I love independent wrestling. I think Indiana. I didn't realize it was near as good as what it was. I was shocked. And amazed every show we go to. I see something new, something different. I just love it, and I think any real wrestling fan that would go to these shows will love it. I'd be shocked if they don't.
Oh, I agree. All right. One thing we didn't, I don't think we did mention in there on the February 19th, we will be streaming the DCCW show live.
Yep.
On YouTube and Twitch. Yep. So for some reason you can't get there and you can't make the trip there. We'd love to see you there in the building. But if you can't make it in the building, we'll be streaming it live. We'll have live commentary and everything. So
and look, I like people, you know, tuning in and watching the show with us. You know, that's great. But I'm telling you, it's good, especially if you can't make it. But if there's any way you can make the show, I'm telling you, the live atmosphere, you can't beat the live atmosphere at any independent show. I mean, that it just makes a difference. I think that's one thing AEW's got over WWE is the crowd and the way the crowd gets hyped up. But it's a different type show. You know, not a lot of kids in the younger crowd. It's a different type. Go WWE, it's more parents and kids. Good crowd. You look all the smiles on the kids' faces, but it's just two different things. But you go to these shows, independent shows, it's kind of mix of anything. There's some stuff from kids, there's some stuff for adults. It's a good mix. A lot of times you're going to be set and you're going to pay $10 and you're going to be within 15 feet.
Yeah.
You know, 20 feet. You can be anywhere 15, 20 feet from the ring. And it's just it's fantastic. So I can't put over independent wrestler. First of all, independent wrestler anywhere, any town, I'm sure is probably, you know, good and bad. But in Indiana, it's really good. So I'm telling you, if you can go to a show, you need to go to.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, you have anything else that we missed that you wanted to talk about?
I was going to see if you wanted to next, not really talk about it now, but put it out there for people that see the show. We've kind of talked about a little bit of maybe having people for the next show, if they would, how would you want them to send it in to you to get it to us? Maybe put down their top 10 tag teams of all times. And there's no wrong list. And it can be from any era. If you want to mix match, if you want to be from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010, you know, whenever, and how they could get that to us. And so we could read them on the air and compare them. And
yeah, you could send it. They can send it to our social media accounts: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all Gonzo Sports Room.
Yep.
Just send it there, and then I'll get them. I'll collect them all together. And
top 10 tag teams of all time. It can be, you can mix match. It can be NWA, WWE, Impact, any promotion, AWA. You know, it can be old school stuff. If you like a tag team right now, if you think the best tag team right now or ever been is Riddle and Orton, that's your opinion, put them number one. If you think the Road Warriors is number two, I mean, do whatever, you know, whatever you feel. There's no wrong answer here, you know, but we just want to see what the people think and their top 10s. And I'm going to work on a top 10 and Chris is going to work on top 10 and just see what we come at, something a little different, and thought would be kind of fun. So hopefully people will participate. Definitely, Chris will put this clip out there. And there's one guy I want to hear from, Mr. Fine.
Yeah.
I want to hear his top 10.
Yeah, I would too, because
that of all time.
Because Marcus Fine, which is a friend of the show, that dude travels everywhere to go to shows.
I'll give him a big shout out. Great fan of independent, great fan of wrestling, great fan of independent. And if you want to put independent wrestlers on there, if you got a tag team right now that you think deserves to be in the top 10, I think Highlight Reel's in the top 10 of all time. There's no wrong answer here. So, you know, put that in there and we'll get it out there and talk about it. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'll collect them all. We can even put them up on the list up on the screen while we're talking about them and stuff.
So. Yeah. Yeah, I'd definitely like to hear from the fans, and maybe we could get some wrestlers. Maybe we could talk to some wrestlers and maybe have them send that to us. We'll be at a show this weekend. Say, hey man, send us a top 10. Who's your favorite wrestlers of all time?
Yep.
Tag teams of all time. Maybe we can get some of those. Be interesting to see what they think.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that'll be fun. Yeah, just send it to our social media accounts: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. All at
Write that
Gonzo
down.
Sports Room.
Write that down. Maybe we can get Kripke and some of the guys
Yep.
and the highlight reel. Some of the guys maybe write down real quick so we could have a list
Yep.
or people that we see. I don't know if we'll see the highlight reel this weekend, but I think we're going to see Kripke and G.W.R and a bunch of the guys, and maybe we can ask them, to write down a top 10 for us real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
We can try to
top
do that.
5. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Something interesting. We'll see Mike King and Coon Dog, and maybe we can get their list and see what they think.
Yep.
And might text maybe we can text Luke and Luke Savage and Dalton Love. Maybe get them to send us a list. See what because I know Luke and Dalton, a lot of old school wrestling and stuff too. So it might be interesting to see what they think.
Yep.
They've been tagging up a little bit lately. So.
Yeah, and we'll see Dalton this weekend as well. So.
Yep. Maybe we can get a hold of Luke and tell, hey man, send me a top 10 tag teams of all time. And I'll tell you one I'd like to hear from, JKO. Maybe we can ask him. I'd like to see what he thinks. He's been around the business forever. Been around the business and seen everybody, and then because his dad had been a promoter for so long, and now he's promoting. He helped his dad. Now he's promoting. I'd like to see one. I'd like to ask is Jake Oma. Been all over the world, all over the countries and stuff. Like maybe we can get some of those lists. I think that'd be cool.
Hollywood House would be another good guy to get one from.
We need to get a hold of him. Maybe you can text him.
Yep. But all right, don't forget we're live. If you're a sports fan as well, we're live Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. Come join us. We're giving out winners. My NBA picks last night went 6-0. Of course, when I didn't put no money on it, I go 6-0. But hey, that's how it works sometimes.
Yep.
We're also live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern with GSR Gonzo Sports Room, our sports talk show. Join us tonight at 7. We're going to talk about some of these NBA trades. A lot of stuff happening.
Real quick, Super Bowl pick. Who you taking?
Oh, I'm taking the Bengals.
I'm taking Bengals, but I'm taking Bengals by 3.
That's what I think it's going to be too. I think Burrow's going to lead them down for a game-winning field goal.
The field goal kicker going to win another one for him. So but like I said, if the Rams win, it's not going to upset me because that quarterback, he deserves a championship. So
yeah, I like Stafford. He's and he's one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league, and never really gets the respect because he's in Detroit.
I'm not going, and I know you feel the same way. I'm not hating on Wentz because I think I don't have a problem with Wentz. I don't think it was necessarily his fault. A lot of fans do, but I don't necessarily agree with that. But me and you both wanted Stafford to come to Colts.
Oh yeah,
we both wanted. I thought that'd been perfect. So, but that's the way it is. But I think it's going to be the Bengals. Hopefully, it's a good Super Bowl. Hopefully, it's a good game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. And then we're also you can find both them shows live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And you can also find both those shows, GSR Gonzo Sports Room and Easy Money, a sports betting show, on in podcast form: Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places listen to podcasts, you can find us. Then we have our pro wrestling podcast, G.W.R. Gonzo Wrestler, and this show drops every Sunday at 9 a.m. on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places listen to podcasts, you can find us. And if you want the video version, you can watch the video version on YouTube. It drops at 9 a.m. in the morning on Sundays as well. Check out our YouTube page. We have a lot of content on there on YouTube, whether you're a UFC fan, a pro wrestling fan, and just a sports fan in general. There's a lot of stuff on there. We've done, I think, 9 or 10 live pro wrestling shows now. There's one on there with Rikishi and Samu and Boogeyman. Go check those shows out. Check out our merch store, streamlabs.com/Gonzalez-Sports/merch. You can see a couple of the t-shirts here behind me. We just had a new Easy Money t-shirt drop Saturday. We have a couple different GWR shirts on there, so go check those out. Do you have anything, Dad?
No, well, I was gonna say we'll talk to Mike and Coonball Monday. See, maybe we can maybe sometime this next week re-air that Harvest Habit.
Yep.
For the fans.
Tune in Monday for a Coondog Corner at 7 p.m. Eastern. It'll be live on the DCC or Delaware County Championship Wrestling Facebook page. It'll be live on our Facebook and YouTube pages. I know that they were talking Monday that we're gonna give out a couple free tickets for February 19th show. So make sure you tune in Monday evening to find out how you can have a chance to win a couple tickets.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, we will see you guys next Sunday.
Yep. See you later.